Welcome to Trump Tuesday at Coull Discussions. Today we're going to be talking about the Netherlands. They just had an election on the 16th of March. And boy, is it confusing. By comparison,
Seems very
to
confusing.
the Americans, it would be super
Oh my
confusing because they
goodness.
have two parties.
Americans wouldn't even know what to do.
Like in Canada, yeah, we have
We got
three
don't we have
major
five?
parties, and then we have
Yeah, we've got like 5 total,
Yeah.
like that you could vote for.
you could vote lots of.
Guess how
other-
many they have had in this election in the Netherlands? 28.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, wow. And here's the thing: a lot of them got seats.
I didn't even know the political spectrum was that big.
It's probably really nuanced. It's like you have 3 people that all believe, like out of 5 things, you have 10 parties, and 3 of them will all believe the same things, but they differ on 2, and then they create nuances because of it. The reason why we're going to talk about the Dutch elections, is because it's a foretelling of what may or may not be happening in Europe.
And how does this relate to Trump, you ask? Well, it seems that Trump has started a trend of people. I think that it just shows that there are people like Trump all over the world.
Yep.
And there is this. What's the guy's name?
Geert Wilders.
Geert Wilders. That's very, very European, very Dutch sounding name. He is the Donald Trump, or as they would say, Donald Trump is the Geert Wilders of America.
Geert Wilders has been in politics been running his party for 10 years. He's been trying to get.
And the reason
people to vote for him.
the reason that they compare them is because they both want to just ban immigration. They want to. This Wilders guy wants to shut down mosques in the Netherlands.
This is his platform. He wants to de-Islamize the Netherlands. So that means no headscarves in public functions, the hijab. Preventative detention of radical Muslims, arrest people who they think are Muslims or are going to be jihadists. Denaturalization and expulsion of criminals with dual nationality, which we're arguing about that here in Canada for that matter, whether or not we should or shouldn't do it. Jihadists who go to Syria are not allowed to return. He wants to close all mosques, Islamic schools, and to ban the Quran. And then there's a whole bunch of other things he wants to do too, which a lot of them kind of.
I think if you're in a public school system, right? If you're considered a public school, and you should have to follow the criteria of the public education in your area. So, like if in Alberta, in Calgary, we have the Calgary Board of Education, and if you want to get funding and be eligible for funding from the Calgary Board of Education and the government, then you should have to follow their criteria. And if their criteria says, hey, we have an hour for prayer, then that's what you have to follow. If it doesn't say it, then you can't be like, hey, we want an hour for prayer. It's like, no, you can't do that because then you don't meet our criteria. Now, should you be arresting people for their beliefs? No, of course not. That's ridiculous.
Okay, but hold on.
If you're a criminal, yes.
Yeah, we do it all the time, though. It's like we have an example of 18 people here in Canada who wanted to blow up rail yards, police stations.
Yeah, they were plotting to do things.
Yeah,
they have criminal intent.
I don't think he's saying, when he says preventative detention of radical Muslims, I don't think he's talking about going, oh, you believe in Allah, or you're arrested. It's like I think he's talking about those people that are, planning.
But that's how people will take it. That's how people will take it. You believe in Allah,
totally right.
You're arrested, and that's how people will take it. And that's I think that's the big problem here. Is that I think that we live in a democratic society, and the votes win, right? The majority wins and rules in that society. So if in the case in the U.S., Donald Trump won. He won the voting system, flawed or not. He won. He is the leader of America, whether you like it or not. And unfortunately, there are enough people who have the same beliefs as him and people like him to propel him to power. Yeah. And it's happening in a lot of places. This guy obviously has been around for a while, and he's just coming into the news because of Donald Trump.
More so.
But
that's what it is. There's a populist front gathering in Europe and North America that is basically, the shift is not moving necessarily away from immigration, but it's just more like, why are we having to bend over for immigrants when they want to come here and be like us? Why are we having to be like them? And so this is what's happening with the general populace, and they're electing these people, and the political elites are going, no, this isn't what people want. And it's like, yes, this is what people want. And they're not listening.
Politicians have been out of touch with society for so long that it's coming back to the extreme end of things where people think that it's, you're labeled as like a redneck hillbilly racist person.
Islamophobic.
If you say that, I don't
xenophobic.
I don't want to be forced by anybody to do anything that I don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't care if it's like, I don't want your beliefs shoved down my throat.
Mm-hmm.
Because you think it's right that because you don't think two men or two women should be married. I don't want you to force that belief on me. And I'm not going to force my belief on you. If you want to believe that, fine. Go believe that somewhere else. You don't have to, we still all have to be civil to each other.
Yeah.
We have to interact. We have to interact to make the world successful. And we're not doing that because of our beliefs. I believe it should be done this way. I'm a vegan, don't eat meat, and I hate you because you eat meat. It's like, I don't care if you're a vegan. I don't care if you eat grass. I don't care if you eat soy. I don't care. If you want to sit there and lecture me on the health benefits of meat, I could walk out the damn door and get hit by a bus. I could get into a car accident. I could get shot. I could get knifed. I could fall on ice and crack my head and die. It doesn't matter. I could be the healthiest person in the world, drop dead of a heart attack. So why can't we just let people believe what they want to believe and do what they want to do and not sit there and get on our pedestals? Look at me being ironic, eh? We're trying to get on a pedestal here, eh? That's it. Show's over. See you guys later.
We
guess I gotta get off my soapbox.
Yeah, we jumped the shark.
Jumped the shark there. Fuck.
No, it's just funny. So in the elections, there was a big, this was supposed to be the beginning of the European Arab Spring, as some people are calling it, and it's almost kind of true. It's more a matter of this election is going to set a tone, because there's going to be an election in France and there's going to be an election in Germany, and in both places they have a Geert Wilders type person running for office who is basically saying the same thing. Maybe not so far as get rid of mosques, Islamic schools, and ban the Quran, but they are saying, we shouldn't be taking as many immigrants, etc., etc. And the thing is, it wouldn't be a big deal if it wasn't for the fact that people are voting for him. People want this. If you're listening, we've had a whole bunch of polls here in Canada, and the polls are saying what politicians here in Canada are not saying. When Trump did the ban, the travel ban, Trudeau said, "Oh, you're all welcome to come to Canada. Come on over to Canada.
And
we want you to come over to Canada."
And a lot of Canadians are like, "Whoa!"
3/4 of Canadians are like, "No,
you're not welcome here. Hold your phone."
Yeah, exactly. If you want to come to Canada, a lot of Canadians are saying, "Well, maybe it's a good idea to make sure you have Canadian values."
Yeah.
And then people are like, "Oh, you're just Islamophobic."
That's the thing. As soon as you do that, as soon as you're like you're Islamophobic, it kind of almost
it kills the conversation because you
can't get out of that. It's like saying you're a racist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're racist, and it's like, well, how do I get out of that? Anything I say, you're just going to call me racist now, and it's like you yourself have now ended a conversation that was intended to help resolve an issue,
to talk about things, to see how things work.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're white, brown, purple, gay, straight, Christian, Muslim, whatever, Sikh. I don't care what. If you're a murderer, if you're a bad person, you're a bad person. I don't care. If you kill somebody, you don't come into my country. If you think it's right to rape little children, or beat women, or beat people because of their beliefs, get out of my country. I don't care. If you think it's okay not to treat people equally, get out. Get lost.
We have basic values here, and we want everybody who comes here. My opinion has always been this. You want to come to Canada? Come to Canada and be Canadian. And I think one of the great examples of this is I heard a while ago, and I thought, this isn't real. But I guess there's a Punjabi hockey night in Canada. Mm-hmm. There's East Indian people doing play-by-plays in Punjabi about hockey. And I was like, you can't get any more Canadian than that. It really can't. And it shows a willingness of these immigrants to come here. Yeah, you're talking Punjabi. That's fine. But you're still talking about hockey.
But you know what it is? The market demanded that another language, that language needed to be supported for hockey. Yeah. There was enough people going, hey, we love this game, we want to hear it in our language.
And it's probably because English was too hard to follow when it comes to play-by-plays, and that's fine. So you have these...
And an industry went, you know what? The market is saying we need this.
And I thought it was so awesome, and it's like, that is fundamentally Canadian right there. And that's all we want from immigrants.
We're not saying you have to like hockey. We're not saying that you have to like hockey.
No. But you can't get any more Canadian than that. Like, yes, they may be speaking another language, but they're talking about hockey. It's not like they're play-by-play cricket. No. They're play-by-play hockey. I understand that cricket is starting to become a little bit more popular in Canada. Because
if the market demands it, that's fine. But don't force it on things. Like, don't force the market to need it, to have it. That's all I'm saying. So to sit there and be like, oh, Donald Trump is a bad... Yes, Donald Trump's an ass. He's an idiot. He's doing things that, like, he's talking about things that aren't relevant, that aren't... and all these political people who are running for office now are starting to follow that model and starting to follow that trend and starting to follow that.
It's not necessarily a bad trend, because what it is Trump has the ability, instead of talking through the media who distorts him, he's able to talk directly to the people, and people appreciate this.
They talk to the lowest common denominator. That's what he's doing. He's talking to the lowest.
He's talking to the people that voted him in.
Yeah, he's talking to the real people.
Yes,
and politics, real career politicians talk in a way that normal people can't understand.
They talk.
They talk not to understand
anything.
Yeah.
In the Netherlands, what's going to happen, it might have happened by the time you see this video, is because it's a 150-seat parliament, you need 75 for a majority. The highest party was 33 seats. The second highest was 21, which is Geert Wilders' party. After that was like 19, and then it goes down.
Well, they're going to have to form coalitions.
And the thing is, a lot of the parties have said, we don't want Geert Wilders to be the Prime Minister of the Netherlands. So there's going to probably be a formation of a bunch of parties together to make sure he doesn't win. Now, we'll wait and see what happens. But in the grand scheme of things is this. Geert Wilders, from 2012 to the election now, has doubled his vote percentage. Doubled. That means people want what he wants. And politicians need to start listening to these people that are voting, because the people see the effects that politicians don't. And maybe they need to open their eyes.
I think so. I think you're right. I think you'd be surprised if you took a poll of 1,000 people, random people, about asking that kind of question.
This poll thing, go to work and just poll the people you work with.
Yeah, and just see how
many people answer. And that's your random selection sample. And this is what's going to happen in the world. If you find that all of a sudden you have 10 people in the office and 3/4 of them want what he wants.
More people would say that they don't want they support an immigration type ban. than you would think. I think.
If
if
as
somebody in
long as you're
Canada
not
was-
throwing out words like you're Islamophobic, you're this phobic, you're that phobic.
That's what we are. If we don't let people in, if we don't let refugees or foreign people into our country, we're
We do.
we're
We do.
racist.
We do.
We're scared. No, we're not scared.
And I would like to point out that this is the highest voter turnout that they've had in quite a few elections. 80% of the
I
population
wonder
turned
why
out
that
to
they
vote.
had 80% come out.
And by
What's the
comparison, here
population of the
in
Netherlands?
17 million.
So 80% of that is what, like fucking
Here in Canada, well, you think about that.
13 million. 13,
In
14
Canada,
million?
the last election,
We only had 60%.
it's 63%.
So only 2/3.
And for that matter, in Calgary, where we live, 30% voter turnout in the last.
It's because we're sick of the fucking same old stupid bullshit from politicians. You need somebody to step outside and to take a
And
take a
this
leap.
Is what,
to take
this
a,
is what Gert Wenders is doing, and this is what's going to may or may not be happening
you
in
need somebody
Germany
who thinks differently.
and France. And that's what happened with Trump. So there you go, politicians. Start listening to the people that actually vote instead
right.
of the people inside of your little bubble.
Go check out our middle party video. Don't forget to leave a like while you're here. Go back and check that one out. Go leave a like on that one and a comment. Tell us what you think of.
Always tell us what you think.
Always. Tell us what you think about the whole Trump-ism. We'll call it a Trumpism. And how there's Trumps popping up all over the world now, apparently. Look at that, eh? Fuck. All right, guys. Thanks for
See ya.
watching.